Alright, so going up for sale is this 65 Beetle. It's in great shape, completely restored. And let's take a look. Let's do a cold start on this. Hasn't been run in a couple days. Just been sitting here. One bump on the pedal. Choke working properly. Runs beautiful. This is a powered up 40 horse. A lot of people think that they're really slow. Before you think that, I'm going to suggest to you a little bit later in this video, we're going to take a drive in this car, go up a really steep hill, and then tell me it's slow. When you power them up the right way, you can't just put a big bore kit on them. You have to do a couple more things to it. And if you do that, it really has great power, like about a 1500. And you know, it's not like gonna win any races, but it certainly is very drivable and fine for today's roads and all that stuff, and getting on the freeway. And driving on the freeway, you don't have that, you know, going up and down the hills, fluctuating speed, you know, like you do with a regular 40 horse. All right, so I'm gonna shut this off. Take a look at the car. Door, didn't push it enough. The door's shut, excellent. Okay. All the hood and trunk gaps are really nice. I mean, this is a really nice 65 sunroof car. Remember, keep it in mind, it is a sunroof car. It is not a hardtop, regular hardtop. Sunroofs sell for at least $1,000 more, and that's because they take a lot more work to build and a lot more money. Just building that, fixing all the sunroof stuff, have it work properly is pretty expensive to do. But the car's in great shape. Has a really nice original color paint job. I believe it is Panama beige, but I'm not sure. You know, I don't know. It just matched the original underneath. It didn't have a color name still on it, but it looks very much like the Panama beige from that era. All right, so the interior is all black. Original color would have been brown and is not available. You can probably buy it in a custom restoration place, and it would probably cost more than what I'm selling the car for the interior alone. So keep that in mind. It is beautiful black leatherette style interior. It has nice cut pile carpeting, really nicely done, very nice clean job. A few wrinkles a little bit in the headliner, but not bad. Let's look at the sunroof. This hasn't been open again in a while. You always give it a little bit of baby it a little bit. These sunroofs are very, very fragile. It has all new cables and hardware, most of the hardware. I think this is original piece, and I think we kept that because it's actually better quality than the aftermarket stuff is. So I always don't use the end of the handle when I'm shutting it. Very carefully. I don't want it to skip anywhere, but this has a wire mesh instead of the original panel. I do have the original panel if you want it. But again, those panels create a lot of resistance and can cause you to have your cable skip. And that's one of the reasons a lot of sunroofs don't work in the cars. Because once they skip once, you're constantly fighting that. You have to, gonna have to take it apart and fix it. So here's underneath the hood. Wiring very clean. Gas tank repainted with satin urethane. Original bias ply spare. Let's look underneath. Hang on one second. Need two hands. So you can see, very clean spare tire area. Very nice. Very nice car. Take a look at that. So the bumpers are original. They're not reproduction. They are, I don't know if they're original or reproductions, but they are not new. You can always get a new set of bumpers from Williamsburg West if you wanted to later on. One of those things you could add to your car, little things you could do yourself. You know, these are in great shape here. All right. Wheels. Let's look at the engine. I didn't dust it off or anything. It's probably a little dusty. Let's take a look. Well, I guess not. It's pretty clean. And on this engine, it has the electronic ignition, so you don't have to pointless ignition, so you don't have to worry about that. Because the new points on a lot of cars on these are the condenser quality is really bad. Even though they're Bosch, they're not the same as they used to be in the old days. If you're new to Volkswagens, it has a alternator instead of the original generator. It is 12 volt. It's not 6 volt anymore. You know, those of you who want 6 volt cars, you want the nightmares that go along with it, like, you know, turning the key on and it not starting, and starting too slow, and your headlights and taillights being really dim, and potential for accidents are higher. It's much better to have the 12 volt system, especially on this car. It doesn't really help the value or anything. It actually helps the value to have 12 volts, in my opinion. This has a 1200cc engine, or no, it's a 1385cc engine, and it also has some upgrades in the power to make sure it climbs hills really nice. It really just looks like a 40 horse. It runs like a 1500. You really couldn't tell the difference if you drove a stock 1500 and drove this. The power is about the same. So, all right. So again, the bumpers are not new, but they look nice. You know, it kind of has that old age, and even like the steering wheel is original. Still has a little bit of the cracks in it, and kind of makes you feel like you're in an old car, which is nice in my opinion. I don't like those brand new steering wheels because it just doesn't feel old. The doors and deck lid and hood shut perfectly. You can see here, that just shuts really nice. Really nice, good shutting car. And you can see this is something that's really amazing about this car is the hood, how well it shuts. I'm just going to drop it straight down into the hole. I don't know if you can even hear that in the video, but it just thumps right into place. You do not see 65s that have that nicely of a shutting hood. Very rarely have I ever seen one like that. Again, things like original wiper blades, original wipers, arms, not the reproduction ones that break. Things like that are on this car. So that's basically the car. It has a nice wood panel in the back instead of the original was actually it was actually that press board stuff and delaminates and things like that. So that was old and just falling apart, of course, and had to be replaced. Let's look at the fender wells. Yeah, very clean, a rust-free car. Let's look underneath. Yeah, really clean. Typical sunroof. It's had some repair done to the floor, but it does still retain the original seat frames, which is really important. When you have the original seat frames, if you have the aftermarket pans put in sometimes and you don't repair the original ones, sometimes it's actually worse than actually replacing them, because what happens is guys put it, they put the pan halves on, they put the cheap ones on. The cheap ones have problems with the seats. The seat frames are not original here. And what happens right here, this part's not original on some of the cars. This one has original seat frames. And sometimes when the guys put the non-original ones on, you find yourself in the back seat as soon as you accelerate on the gas. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and set up my camera real quick, and we're going to take a drive, go up a hill, and let me show you how this thing runs. It really runs. And stop. All the brakes are all brand new, all the way everything to from the hard lines, soft lines, shoes, the wheel cylinders is all new, so there's no corner cutting there. But you know, it is a really old car, and the quality of parts isn't the same as it was back even 25 years ago. So, you know, that's some things to know. I'm just telling you, you know, if you're expecting, you know, something that isn't reality, if you're wanting an old German parts car, all German parts, they just aren't there. There just isn't all. Even the German parts are actually reboxed. Most of them are made in China, reboxed by Bosch and things like that. It's not the same as it used to be even 20 years ago. I've been working on these things for about 35 years, so I know a little bit about them. Alright, so restart. Every once in a while you get a little noise from the starter. It's all brand new. Alright, so let's go for a little drive here, check it out. Drivable for anywhere you really want to go. way, this car just glides. One guy says, oh, I need to put disc brakes on it. No, you don't need any of that stuff. Not with a stock bug. signs of the engine getting hot. It's probably near 100 right now. for the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Pretty much saw how nicely this car drives. I mean, it's basically a one-handed steering wheel. Drives terrific. Talk to you next video.